I've personally never owned a Pixel phone, but I've always been intrigued by them. They have a really beautiful design, a sleek and minimalist interface, and they focus more on artificial intelligence rather than raw power. Combined with Google's software support and development cycles, it's basically the iPhone of the Android world. But I haven't really been too excited about a new Pixel release since the Pixel 6, which started taking the lineup in a completely different direction, and afterward the Pixel 7 attempted to build on its predecessor without being too much of a direct upgrade, aside from some new AI features like cinematic video. And while the upcoming Pixel 8 also doesn't look to be that much of an upgrade on paper, it seems like it's set to come with some nice refinements that make it feel like a much more polished version of a Pixel 7. But the Pixel 8 Pro specifically looks interesting due to a new feature that smartphones don't usually come with. At first glance, it might not seem like the Pixel 8 is getting much of an overhaul, and that is somewhat true. Both models do look mostly untouched, especially the cheaper Pixel 8, but there are some notable differences. Even though the base Pixel 8 looks basically the same, there are two main differences. One, the corners are rounder, and two, the bezels are much slimmer. Both of those make it look a lot more refined compared to the Pixel 6 or the Pixel 7. The Pixel 8 is a similar story, but another major difference is that Google is supposedly ditching the curved display that we saw in the last two models in favor of a flat display. Personally, I've never been a big fan of curved displays since they make the screen easier to break as well as more prone to accidental touches, but that being said, I know that some people tend to prefer the more premium look that curved displays tend to give, so this could be a somewhat divisive change depending on how you look at it. But one aspect of the Pixel 8 Pro's design that's rather interesting is that white dot on the back of the phone underneath the LED flash. There's been some speculation for a while about what it could be, and we finally got our answer not too long ago. A temperature sensor. Essentially, this sensor is designed to work similar to a contactless thermometer. Just place the sensor as close as you can to your face, and it will measure your temperature. Personally, I'm not really seeing much of a use case for something like this. Sure, it's useful for checking for fevers, and it could be occasionally useful for the people who own it. But I don't believe that it'll be a deal breaker by any means, as it's such a niche feature. That being said, Google is known for releasing new and intriguing features and immediately discarding them on the next model. The Pixel 4, for example, had a radar system that could detect the position of a user's hand over the screen, but it never caught on, and Google ditched it on the Pixel 5. It's a similar story with the Pixel Slate, a Chrome OS tablet that Google banned after the first generation. At the very least, it's nice to see Google still willing to try out some new features, which is something that companies don't do much nowadays. Sure, temperature sensor might not really seem like much, but credit where it's due, it's at least a new feature that we don't really see on other smartphones. Who knows, maybe if Google decides to keep it on future Pixels going forward, we could see app developers do some interesting things with it. This week's question I have for you guys is the Pixel 8 Pro's temperature sensor something that you might find useful? Do you consider it a deal breaker, or is it just another feature that Google ended up bidding on the Pixel 9? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. But anyway, that's all for this week. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you all around. Adios!